So I'm going to talk about the two subjunctive perfect tenses. There's the subjunctive preterite perfect and the subjunctive plusquamperfecto, which is the subjunctive past perfect. So I'm going to begin with the subjunctive preterite perfect. To do this, you just need to conjugate the verb haber into the subjunctive present tense and then add the past participle of whatever verb you are using. If you do not know about past participles or compound tenses at all, you should probably check out the first compound tense video to learn a little bit more about this. So I'm going to go ahead and talk to you specifically about this tense. So to conjugate the verb haber in the subjunctive tense, it's an irregular subjunctive word. So here is the conjugation listed below. If you don't know anything about the subjunctive tense and about the subjunctive mood and you'd like to learn how to conjugate in the present subjunctive, then you could check out our video for that as well. I am only going to talk about this verb in the subjunctive right now. So, it is yo haya, tú hayas, él haya, nosotros hayamos, vosotros hayáis, and ellos hayan. Okay, so here's an example of how you would conjugate the verb hablar in the subjunctive preterite perfect tense. So with each of these, you would simply add hablado to the end, and depending on the subject of your sentence, you would use whichever one of these that you need. So it would be yo haya hablado, tú hayas hablado, nosotros hayamos hablado, vosotros hayáis hablado, ellos hayan hablado. So it's really simple to form this. You just need to know the past participle of the verb you are conjugating, and you need to know how to conjugate the verb haber in the subjunctive present tense. So here's a quick practice. You should write this down and try to answer how to conjugate these words using these subjects. You should pause the video here and try this out, and then I'm going to reveal the answers now. Okay, so here are the answers to the practice. In the yo form, creer goes to haya creído. Ellos is hayan limpiado. Su hermana for venir, and su hermana is just ella, so you use the singular third person, haya venido. Nosotros for hacer is hayamos hecho. Vosotros for hablar is hayáis hablado. Tú for ir is hayas ido. Ustedes for dar is hayan dado. Él for vivir is haya vivido. Yo for volar is haya volado. Tú for olvidar is hayas olvidado. So haya creído means had believed, or I had believed, I have believed. I apologize. It means I have believed. This means they have cleaned. This means your sister, or his or her sister, has returned, has come. This means we have done, or we have made. This means you all have spoken. This means you have gone. This means you all have given. This means he has lived. This means I have flown. And this means you have forgotten. So keep in mind that this is the subjunctive, so it's only used in times when you use the subjunctive. If you don't know anything about when to use the subjunctive tense, or the subjunctive mood, I apologize, you should check out our video about the subjunctive mood so that you can understand when to use this over when to use the indicative perfect tense. So the subjunctive plusquamperfecto is like the past tense of the verb of the tense that we just learned. So It's formed the exact same way, except for you conjugate haber into the past subjunctive tense, into the imperfect subjunctive tense. So here is the imperfect subjunctive tense of haber. So yo hubiera, tú hubieras, él hubiera, nosotros hubiéramos, vosotros hubierais, ellos hubieran, and then you just add the past participle, the exact same past participles as you used for all of the other compound tenses in the Spanish language. So here are some examples of how you can use this tense, or here's an example of how you can use this tense. So once again, you just conjugate you conjugate haber into the imperfect subjunctive tense and use it for whichever pronoun or subject that you need, and you just add the word hablado for the word hablar, or you use whatever past participle you need for whichever tense you're conjugating, for whichever word you're conjugating. So here would be an example for hablado. Yo hubiera hablado. I had said, or I had spoken. Tú hubieras hablado. You had spoken. Nosotros hubiéramos hablado. We had spoken. Vosotros hubierais hablado. You all had spoken. Ellos hubieran hablado. They had spoken. So here's a quick practice. So you should pause the video here, go ahead and write this down, and try to answer it for these words and these subjects. Okay, here are the answers. So for ellos, escuchar becomes hubieran escuchado. Tú en terminar is hubieras terminado. Nosotros en caber is hubiéramos cabido. Conducir, yo conducir is hubiera conducido. Todos beber is hubieran bebido. Nadie bailar is hubiera bailado. Vosotros salir is hubierais salido. Nosotros romper is hubiéramos roto. Tú permitir is hubierais permitido. Yo aceptar is hubiera aceptado. So, in English, this means they had heard, you had completed or finished, we had fit. Conducir for yo is I had driven, or I had driven. Everyone had drank. Everyone had drinking. Not sure which one's proper. In English, no one had danced. Here it's you all had left. We had broken. You had permitted. I have accepted. I had accepted. So remember that this is also the subjunctive mood, so you only use this when you would use the subjunctive mood. If you would like to know about when to use the subjunctive mood over the indicative mood, please check out our video for that, and I hope this helps you in your Spanish learning journey.